Just come down to see Wayne and chat about the intricacies of umpiring cricket compared to rugby union. Obviously there's a lot of things we can learn getting together and sharing mutual stories and become better officials.
A lot of the top officials, who are involved in international cricket, rugby, football, share ideas. You've got to learn, you've got to find new ideas. Pretty lucky at the RFU in that 13 of us, we get into Twickenham, we do all our training here. The more time that refs spend together, the more consistent they're going to be. And days like today where Rod and I can sit down, share some ideas. And it's intriguing for me as a referee.
Well, nice to meet you, Rod. This is just showing an example of how Wayne and I work together. So during the game, I'd make some notes, and then on the review athletic management system that's used by World Rugby and all competitions, I'll put some clips up for us to discuss. So what we'll do now is we'll look at some clips.
Yeah, a lot of similarities, about how we analyse and trying to improve. It's great to watch the way you guys go through your process of improving.
If I had another one like that later in the game, I'd say, look, it's exactly the same as what I did in the first minute. And I would log that. That would be in my mind now for the next 80 minutes of how I played that. But if you make a decision in day one, would that still be in your mind in day 3 or 4? Something like that would be a comparable thing to a bouncer, head height, above the shoulder. Okay, so we've been tough up front, so you want to make sure you're consistent through the game. Mental preparation is really tough. You've just got to make sure you switch on and off. And when do you turn on and off? Is it like every over, or is it just when you're standing at square leg? Square leg you can switch off a little bit, tending to be watching field positions, but you're not concentrating as hard as you are at the bowler's end when I can hear his footsteps, or if it's a spinner, you get into your stance. And that's when you switch on. Every ball you're turning on and off. For you guys, you can't have a switch on, switch off, can you? There will be periods when you find times during a game where you need a break, and it might be like an injury. It's where you can just take yourself away for 20, 30 seconds and almost re-evaluate in your head. If you're given a penalty try, you could justify it probably, with the momentum as well, but those two players loitering around was probably enough, wasn't it? I just thought it was such a big decision 4 or 5 minutes into a game where it's 7 points, they're in the bin. It's not costing the game, but you've given them a good leg up. And I just thought there was some doubt. You used where the game was as a reasoning for the decision, and you don't want to wreck the game. You don't want the umpiring decision or the refereeing decision to actually change the way the game was flowing. Would you do the same? If you made a mistake, the first thing to do is accept that you've made it. The more you tie your mind up with, I might have got it right, might have got it wrong. As soon as you go down that route, it's very difficult route to come back from. Sometimes you've made a mistake. The players tell you pretty quickly. So it's accepting I've made that mistake and then not trying to compensate for that. I wasn't in a good position, I had a player between me, or whatever reason. I've made that decision now I need to just move on. One of the questions we ask ourselves is, with the information I had at the time, I came up with that answer. The question to you would be, would you change anything in that? I don't think so. I think what's always nice to see where the common ground is. So, for example, we're discussing just the work that Rod does with the players, not even on the pitch, but pre-match and post-match. It's really nice to share how we go about that. Cricket, rugby, the respect the players have for the officials in those two sports is probably as good as any other sport. To actually mix and talk about the experiences you have on field is great. It's something we should do more of, there's no doubt.